Hello everyone, welcome back to our Power BI session. I really hope that all of you are very well. So let's go ahead and take a recap of what we have done in our last session. So in our last session, we started with our report view where we focused on the table visualization formatting, where we have worked on the formatting of table visualizations. Also, we got to know about the format painter concept available here. We also got the opportunity to work with interactions and how we can remove those interactions with the help of edit interaction. And now let's come to our today's topic. So as we planned in our last session, that in today's session we will be focusing on conditional styling. So let's go ahead and take a look what is conditional styling, why it is required, and how we can apply conditional styling here in Power BI. Okay, so conditional styling helps us to make our specific data row or sometimes any value identical with respect to all the other values that are available in that particular column or in that particular row. So if we take a live example, so there are many times when client comes to us and they have some major requirements. For example, they don't want to see the negative values. Instead of that, they prefer to have it either in red color or with a bracket. Okay, sometimes there can be situations like they have some conditions, like if the value is above this particular number, then it should be reflecting in green color. If the value is on the midline, like it's within a range, within some specific range, then it should be coming in orange color. If in case it's very low, then it should be coming in red color. So any such condition can come up. Additionally, there can be some points where they don't want the number color changing only, but they want to have some icon that can help to reflect like what is the difference there in data. So for example, somebody wants to compare last week data versus current week data. If the current week data is better than what we have in the last week, then there should be a arrow icon coming up which should be upward facing. If in case the last week data is much better in comparison to what we have in our this week, then there should be a downward arrow. So some things like this can come up when we are working with client. They can give some examples to it, but depending on what data they have and where they want to apply that condition, so that they don't have to dig inside the data. They can just go and take a look over the visualization and they are able to understand, okay fine, the sales are going very well in comparison to what it was in the last week. Okay, so here I got some loss and so here I am getting some negative values which is marked in red color. Okay, great, this is the green color data. It means I am getting a very good profit over there. So all those things, it's not like they have to go and open up the data and then they have to explore inside to understand what is the profit, what is the loss. So in order to make it easier to understand, the conditional styling concepts come here in BI. This helps us to understand the data with your two eyes. Okay, only thing is that you should be aware of the what conditional stylings are applied. So if in case you are aware that negative values are represented with red color, then definitely you will be able to understand that, okay fine, this is the negative value. If this is coming in green, it means I am getting some positive value over there. Okay, so this is all about like what is conditional styling and why we require conditional styling. Now let's see how we can implement conditional styling here in Power BI. Okay, so I will take the example of with the help of this table report where I am having product and price. So now I want to apply a conditional styling. So before applying anything, I need to make sure that I select this report at first. Okay, now it is selected. And now we will move to formatting part. And let's go down, and here you can see there is an option of cell element. We will click on it. And then it is asking me what thing I want to, like any change that I want to make on which specific column it should happen. So currently we have only two columns with us in this table. One is product, another is price. So it is giving me option where I want to reflect. So let's just take it with the help of product brand. We won't make any changes to it. Okay, Now I want to apply the condition. So suppose I want to change the background color of data. So I will go ahead, click on, and now you can see that I will get option here. So it is giving me option like background color change, format style. So what will be the format style, whether I want to apply any specific rule, gradient or field value. So right now I will be focusing on rule because I will be giving a rule for applying that condition. Okay, so what field should be based on this on? So it means like I want to specify the background change color on my product column, but on the basis of which column its color should change. So in my case I want to change it based on the price value. So I will go on sales data, and from here I will take the price column. Okay, now here I don't want to have first value, last value, count distinct or count value. Okay, and even if I go down, then I can see that it is giving me some conditions which is alphanumeric. Okay, and here also it is asking me to give some text value, whereas if I just close it a little quickly, then I can see that whereas the values that are available here, these are numeric: 33.9, 5.9, 12.95, all these are numeric values. Then why it is asking me to add some alphanumeric values? So here we need to backtrack our data. Instead of going ahead and starting applying some condition, this is indicating that the value inside price is not in a correct format. So maybe we need to go back to our table view, or maybe we can stay on the report view only, and then we can click on transform data. In our previous session when we were working with the transform data, I told you that even we have loaded the data once, then also if we want to transform the data later on, that too we can do. So this thing we are going to work today, transform data. I'll click over here, and now you can see I am back with my Power Query editor. And now we have all the three tables that we are using here. So right now sales 2017 row is selected, and this is the place where we have price column. So let's move towards price. Cool. Here you can see that it is giving me A, B, C, which means the format of this column is text right now. So let me show you that it's text only. So here you can see A, B, C, which indicates text. So I don't want this to be text. So in order to make it number, I need to change its format. So I will make it whole number. Now as soon as I make it a whole number, you can see that I am getting something like this. Or although every other column is having this dark green line, but instead of here it is, there are some blanks coming in between. So what it indicates? This is indicating a error. What is the error? Actually, if we go down, you can see that there are some null values, and there are also some errors here. If we go down and down, here you can see there are errors, which means there is some value which is not applicable, or there are some values which is actually blank. Okay, as soon as I click over here, I can see what is the issue over there. So null is not an issue for here although, but this place where we are getting error, this is the issue for us. So we need to fix it before we change the data type for this data. So let's remove this from the applied step. Like I told you, if I don't want any condition, I can easily remove it from the applied step, as each and everything that we make changes in the transformation of data, that all keeps on recording here in applied step. So the last thing that I have done is change the data type. So I will click cross, and now you can see that it's back to text format. So again, before making any changes, what I want is I want to replace the error value which is not applicable here. In this case, it's not applicable. So let me just showcase you by filtering the data from here. So you can see that there are many blank values. First thing, Okay, sorry, there is only one. And also we have some null values with us, not applicable values. So I'll click here and OK. So here you can see that we have lots of not applicable data right now with us. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this not applicable value with 0. So here on top you can see in transformation section, transform, on home tab there is the option of replace value. So I click on it, and right now price is selected, so it will be working for price column only. So I will say value to find. Value to find will be not applicable and replace with will be 0. Okay, and now I'll click on OK. So now you can see that all my values are converted into 0. Okay, although that blank value is not going to bring some impact, but I will also consider changing that blank value. So I will again go press and enter, and here also I will say 0. So now I'll click on OK. So now my blank value is also replaced with 0. Okay, let me select all. So here I need to remove this filter row, because as soon as I applied filter condition, it took it as a step and it has removed my all other data except these 0 values. So I will remove this condition. Now when I am removing some conditions that are on top, it is just confirming, making sure that I really want to delete this step. Are you sure you want to delete this step? Deleting this step may affect subsequent steps, which could cause you query to break. So any other steps that I have done which is dependent on this step can get affected. So it's giving me a warning that are you sure that you want to delete this? So yes, I'm sure. I will click on it. And now you can see that I have all my data available here now. And then I will change the format of this value to whole number. Cool. Now you can see that I'm not getting any errors, which means my data is fine. And now we can go back to our visualization and we can work on the conditional styling. So I'll save and close.